your preferred partner for custom software development and technology outsourcing. We offer state-of-the-art customized software development services that are client-centric, flexible, and secure to empower businesses.
Hey, it's Rich Tehrani. We're at ITEXPO 2021 in Miami Beach, Florida. And on our program today is Steve McCaffrey. He is with Proviniti. Steve, how are you?
Very good. Wonderful to be here in Miami Beach.
Thrilled to have you. Where are you based?
Out of New York.
Oh, okay. We're based out of Connecticut, so we probably run on similar flights.
Got it. Yeah, probably. Unless you guys are flying out of Newark these days, so.
No. Normally the New York airports, but I was masked, so you probably couldn't recognize me.
Yes, that's right. Of course. The only place the masks are required anymore.
Unless you're eating, in which case there's no mask needed.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. I saw somebody get hit. He had a giant beard, and he had a mask that covered his beard, and they said that's not good enough. You have to have another mask on top of that.
Yeah, they've been cracking down on those airplanes, so it's interesting. So it'll be fun to go back. But nonetheless, we also are taking some precautions here at the show. We've got our temperature-checked wristbands to make sure that we don't have temperature, and we've got distancing, and we've got what else do we have here? We have plastic guards when you register, and then we have some space in the exhibit hall for distancing. And there's one other regulation actually that the convention center had, which is higher partitions in between the booths.
Oh, really?
So we've got a whole bunch of, so it's a lot of, every industry has its own thing that it does, I guess, to just try to keep us as safe as possible.
Sure. Absolutely, why not? You got to do it. You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. So tell me a little bit about your company. What do you guys do?
So we're a boutique consulting firm. We do a significant amount of work in the very progressive blockchain space. We are an NFT marketplace provider. We are in the IoT space there. We've created a number of hardware-based products that have basically a locking mechanism associated with it that is completely tied to blockchain. And so we believe that there's a lot of applications out there for things like going across digital borders, taking goods across digital borders, the transportation of tobacco products, which need to be sealed and have an appropriate lineage on them. Same thing is going to be true in the U.S. moving forward with ballots. As ballots are printed, they will be appropriately labeled, and then the whole transportation of that ballot from the time it's printed to the time it gets to the person who's casting the ballot will be tracked by a blockchain overall. And then we have hardware devices that helps to track the status of that particular ballot all the way from start to finish. And then we see there's also similar opportunities in transporting cannabis back and forth to make sure that that which is regulated by the state is appropriately transported in a way that can guarantee the quality of that product, and that's not a black market product. We're also seeing the same thing in the tobacco space as well. And finally, more morbidly, is there's a pretty big market right now for casket stealing. So what will happen is that somebody will die overseas, and they'll be transported with all their valuables, and suddenly by the time the casket gets to where it's supposed to be, the valuables are gone. So we're seeing another set of spacing there another set of opportunities there for hardware-based blockchain capabilities that allow somebody to completely and totally understand the whole lineage of that trip from start to finish.
Wow. When do you sleep?
We don't sleep at all. We're 24/7, no doubt, across the globe, without question. So, no, there's a lot of stuff going on. We have that. We have a number of things going on, as we saw it, in this conference with IoT, which is, there's so many new opportunities with respect to sensors and all different types of information that needs to be put together. And data that's harvested is the data that's collected from these different IoT-based sensors is astronomical, and there's so many different nuggets of information that's available in that data that once we apply really good AI to that, will make things possible that nobody ever dreamed of. It's an amazing time, without question.
Very exciting. So, for people that are watching you, obviously you're in a lot of different spaces. How do they know to reach out to you and have you assist them?
For the most part, what we do is we have an initial discussion with folks, some of the senior folks about what it is they want to do. And then we bring in a partner from one of our practices who will sit down and say, look, we're going to do an assessment with you and say, and this is how this is going to work. Here's our understanding of what you're asking us to do. And then we come back and say, okay, here's what we think it's going to take to make it happen, and let's execute on it.
That's great. What else should we know about your organization?
We are very much into making sure that the folks in our team have a pretty significant opportunity for growth. We spend a lot of time recruiting people who are extraordinarily hard workers. They may not necessarily be square pegs and square holes from a technology perspective, but what we found over time is that some of the best people that we've ever come across are people who morphed into the job because they were just great from an attitude perspective and great at just being able to come to work every day saying, look, I'm going to do the best I possibly can. And so we spend a lot of time trying to find those people, we grow them, and then hopefully they stay with us for quite some time.
That's great. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.